Let's start off this video with a statement. Highly efficient and interconnected railways are one of the major contributing factors to the growth of huge empires and superpowers such as Great Britain, Germany, Russia and the US in the 18 and 1900s. Why? Because railway lines move goods and services quickly and relatively cheaply from one location to another. Tony Robert Judt, a British historian, essayist, and university professor of European history in NYU, wrote in his informative essay about how railway lines and stations created an economic revolution, saying in his essay, "No competing form of transport, no subsequent technological innovation, no other industry has wrought or facilitated change on the scale that has been brought about by the invention and adoption of the railway." Try to think of a world before the railway and the meaning of distance, and think of the limits placed on economic activity and human life chances by the impossibility of moving food, goods and people in large numbers or at any speed in excess of 10 miles per hour, of an enduringly local nature of all knowledge, whether cultural, social or political, and the consequences of such compartmentalization. Judd's analysis of the impact of the railways can be seen at first glance when we look at the British Empire. The British had exponentially increased the number of railway lines across Britain in the 1840s, during the railway mania period, to cater to growing demand in cities like London for manufactured goods in rural and northern English areas like Yorkshire. One of the most famous lines being built there at the time was the Great Northern Railway, following the Act in 1946, which spans England from south to north. This exponentially increased the size of the British economy and funded its conquest of the world diplomatically and militarily. Tsarist Russia built the Trans-Siberian Railway line between 1891 and 1917, which is the longest railway in the world, with a length of 9,289 kilometers or 5,772 miles. This connected the capital Moscow with far eastern cities like Vladivostok and aided huge growth across central and eastern Russia. And the Americans completed the anticipated Transcontinental Railroad in 1869, which led to gigantic growth in the Midwest and West Coast of the United States during that time. Railway changed technology at a much faster scale. It brought distant towns closer to mainstream cities and helped massively to develop interregional commerce. But how are railroads relevant today? Well, according to the Association of American Railroads in June 2017, in the year 2014 alone, America's major freight railroads supported 1.5 million jobs. That's nearly $274 billion in output and $88 billion in wages across the US economy. Similarly, a website, Stagecoach.com, estimated that in 2010, the UK railroad industry employed more than 190,000 people, from train drivers and station staff, and over 1.3 billion passenger journeys, including nearly 270 million business trips which were made each year. Freight trains add a huge amount to economies. Also, in the document released by the AAR in June 2017, the AAR stated how much money the US saves by using freight trains. The American Association of State, Highway and Transportation Officials estimated that if all freight traffic were shifted to trucks, rail shippers an additional $69 billion per year. Adjusted for the increase in freight volume and inflation, that figure is probably close to $100 billion today. In addition to railways being an economic engine, they also have other benefits, such as, by using trains, we reduce emissions and become more environmentally conscious and eco-friendly. Moving freight by rail instead of truck reduces greenhouse gas emissions by 75% on average, as well as for particulate matter and nitrogen oxide. Emissions for railroads are significantly lower than emissions for trucks. Trains are more fuel efficient. On average, railroads are 4 times more fuel efficient than trucks. Less traffic and traffic congestion. Less cars on the road will lead to less congestion in urban areas, which will lead to less motor accidents and deaths. Trains also ship goods like agricultural products, food and machinery, and ironically cars too. The usage of passenger trains has decreased in the last few decades due to cheaper cars and higher wages, but we must not lose sight of the benefits that trains really bring to our lives. Thankfully, projects all over the world include some railway expansion, which means there's a future for the railway. China's One Belt One Road initiative includes funding for the $10 billion Karachi Rail project in Pakistan and high-speed railways in countries like Hungary, Serbia and Thailand. According to the official English language Chinese government website, China have over 20 railway projects underway overseas, including the construction of a metro in the eastern Pakistani city of Lahore. Due to these railway infrastructure projects that are being built by China, it will make it very affluent and influential and will make China a superpower. Thank you for watching this video. This YouTube channel is an experiment that I hope will work out. If you like this video, feel free to give feedback in the comments below. I plan to make many more economic and politically themed videos in the future, so if this channel receives support, I will upload a new video surrounding some of the possible topics that I have planned. Anyway, sources and links are in the description if you want to check them out. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.